For the last 20 years or so, the rules of the internet were pretty simple, right? Get to the top of Google and the traffic would just follow. Well, that foundational rule, it's just been completely shattered. Today, we're going to explore this massive shift in how we find anything online, a change we're calling the Great Decoupling. And this quote from RevolutX Digital, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the new reality we're all living in. For marketers, for creators, for businesses, this isn't just some small tweak. It's a massive deal. The whole contract we thought we had with search engines has been totally rewritten. And that top spot, well, it's just not the prize it used to be. Well, that brings up the big question, doesn't it? If all that blood, sweat, and tears to get to number one doesn't even guarantee a visitor, then what on earth are we all supposed to be doing now? That is exactly what we are going to break down. Okay, so first up, let's dive into why the old model, the world of 10 blue links on a page, is officially over. This is where the whole problem really starts. This right here is the absolute crux of it. It's the Great Decoupling. And here's the weird part. More people are searching on Google than ever before, but that fire hose of searches is no longer translating into more clicks for websites. The search engine itself is keeping the traffic. So, what's causing this? The main culprit is the rise of the zero-click search. And you've totally done this yourself. You ask a question, Google spits out the answer right there in a little box at the top. Boom, problem solved. No need to click on anything. And this is quickly becoming the new normal. And wow, this chart just lays out the damage perfectly. The moment one of those AI-generated answers, an AI overview, shows up, the click-through rate for the number one organic result just plummets. We're talking a drop of nearly 50%. Being number one right below the AI's answer is like winning second place. It just doesn't count for as much. So if people aren't clicking that top link, where the heck are they going? Well, their attention isn't just vanishing into thin air, it's fracturing. So let's look at where that traffic is actually going. It's splitting off into three new, very distinct paths. Now take a look at this, because this chart shows us the new ecosystem, and it's fascinating. Organic search, yeah, it's still the biggest piece of the pie, but it's definitely shrinking. Social media is a huge player, a major source of referrals. And then you see that tiny little sliver for AI referrals? It might be small now, but it is growing like crazy. This is the new map of the internet, folks. So these are our three new paths. Think of it like this. You've got the old highway of traditional search, which is still busy, but it has way fewer exits now. Then you have the bustling city streets of social media, where people are discovering things all the time. And finally, you have the brand new high-speed railway of AI answers, which is all about getting you to your destination, the information, as fast as humanly possible. All right, let's zoom in on that second path, social media. Because let's be real, it's not just for sharing photos anymore. It's become a massive search and discovery engine in its own right, and there is a fierce battle raging over who gets to send you the most traffic. This table tells such a fascinating story. I mean, look at Facebook. It's still sending over 3/4 of all social traffic. That scale is just immense. But hold on, the real story, the thing you gotta pay attention to, is over in that trends column. Look at TikTok. Its referral traffic has grown 5 times over. It's absolutely exploding. And then you contrast that with X, which is actually shrinking as a source of influence and traffic. The momentum shift is crystal clear. And that's why TikTok is such a huge deal now. It's become a go-to search engine. Younger audiences, especially, they aren't just going there to be entertained. They're using it to find product reviews, how-to guides, you name it. They're literally typing searches into TikTok that they used to type into Google. Okay, on to the third and, honestly, the most game-changing path, the AI answer. This is where everything gets turned on its head, and it requires a completely new way of thinking. Let's get into what that looks like. This whole new world has given birth to a whole new discipline, generative engine optimization, or GO for short. And look, this isn't just slapping a new coat of paint on SEO. No way. This is a fundamental strategic shift. Instead of optimizing your content to get a click, you're now optimizing for an AI to read, understand, and then cite your content as a trusted source in its own answer. And this right here, this is the whole shebang. In the old SEO world, your website was the finish line. Success was all about how much traffic you could drive, how high you could rank. But in this new GEO world, the AI's answer is the finish line. Success is now about whether you are cited as an authority inside that answer,
even if nobody ever clicks through to your site.
So if you have a new game, you need a new scoreboard, right? All those metrics, those key performance indicators or KPIs that we've been obsessed with for decades, well, they're kind of becoming obsolete. It is time for a totally new playbook.
Okay, this slide is everything. This is the big takeaway, so let's really dig in. Remember how we obsessed over backlinks? Well, forget it. Now it's all about AI citations. The question isn't who links to me, but is the AI naming me as a source? We used to track impressions. That's now AI overview prevalence. We're asking, how often are we part of the AI's answer? The beloved click-through rate, that gives way to zero-click presence. And finally, chasing an average position is replaced by fighting for AI prominence. The ultimate goal is no longer just being present, it's about influencing the AI's entire narrative.
But you might be wondering, how does any of this actually help my business if no one clicks? Great question. Here's how the new user journey works. Picture this. Someone's researching the best new cameras. An AI overview pops up, gives a summary, and cites your review site. Right there, instantly, your brand is positioned as an authority. The user sees your name and they trust you. So later, when they're actually ready to buy, they don't Google camera reviews, they search for your brand directly. And that traffic, when it finally arrives, is way more qualified and way more likely to convert. So look, if you remember just one single thing from all of this, make it this. The game is no longer about trying to trick an algorithm to get the top spot. It's about creating content that is so good, so clear, so authoritative that the AI has literally no choice but to rely on you to build its answers. And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. In this new landscape, where AI models are basically reading the entire internet, you have to be absolutely crystal clear about your expertise. So, what is your brand the definitive go-to #1 authority on? Because that's what's going to determine your success from here on out.